Okay. So today is 19. So start with Bezier curve. Again, today I forgot to start recording again. Okay. So what are the various shapes you can generate? First of all, it is also called as polygonal curve. So I have 4 points, maybe something like this. Okay, and this may be my polygon. So my Bezier curve will be looking like this. Okay, now this curve will always be tangent at the end, at also at the start. At the start and at the end, they will be always tangent. And the curve will passes to first and the last point. That is what is the first feature. So you can write down the first feature. Curve, important point, passes through first and last point. Okay, second, it will be tangent at the first and last point. Okay, so just write down this. Okay, and it may passes through other point or may not. Okay, so generally it doesn't passes through all the other points because it is a good looking curve. So it's not used for the performance or efficiency representation. This is what we are deriving for good looking curve. Okay, so this is one of the variation. So now let's have another variation how it would look like. So I have something like this. Okay, and let us say this is my polygon shape. These are the 4 points. Okay, first, second, and third, and fourth. So in that case, my shape would be something like this. So this is one form of Bezier curve. Okay, then maybe I have a square, something like this. So in that case, my curve would be like this. Okay, so all these are the variations which I am trying to draw, maybe something like this. So let's have a 5 point. Okay, so this is the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So here in this case I may get something like this shape. Okay, so this is tangent, so try to understand, my pen has slipped. Okay, so in this way all these are the various forms of Bezier curve what we are going to get. The next important feature, so I could consider this is my third point, and the next important feature that it will have n plus 1 data points. Okay, n plus 1 data points. The next feature is n is the order of polynomial. Okay, so here we see a one drawback. If 99 100 points are there, then order is going to be 99. So that's the main disadvantage of this. But of course, you can have the cubic Bezier curve and you can work with the piecewise polynomial. That's there, but you need to achieve the very higher order continuity. So what is meaning that we will see later on, because we are going to have one problem on higher order continuity. Sixth means it has a global control. Okay, so it has a, so I rewrite it again. global control. So its meaning is that if I change the, say let us say I change this point, if I move to this point, so then my curve would be something like this. Okay. So if I change any one of the point, the whole shape of the curve is going to change, and that is what I call this as a global control. Okay. The seventh thing is that I can generate closed shape curve. Okay. So this is what I can easily generate a closed shape, which is not possible with the help of Hermite curve, but this is possible here in this case. Okay, so Bezier curve option is generally available. So we may use as a piecewise polynomial, or maybe for some 7-8 data through which I will join and connect the point, and I'll try to draw it. Okay. Especially when we draw a ruled surfaces. So remember, ruled surfaces, we have a two edges, and through two edges we create an interpolation and we create this surface. Okay, so this is how we create the surfaces. So this surface is actually a Bezier surface. Okay, so this surface is actually a Bezier surface. Though it is a using rule interpolation, but its representation of the surface is actually a Bezier surface. So many of the surface modeling, whatever the surface patch we create, so those will be most of the time is a Bezier surface. Okay, and that it is requirement, because if I change any of the points or maybe the nature of the curve, the whole shape of the surface should change. That is their requirement. Okay, but there are some surfaces which is made up of NURBS, or maybe called as B-spline, where we can get a localized effect. Okay, so that's the next topic. We are not going to focus on numerical part of B-spline. We are going to only study the theoretical part. Of course, numerical is there that we are going to take later on when we go through, say, beam element problem in finite element method. So at least you will have those formulation with you, and then we will go to numerical in the CAD/CAM. Okay. So now let's write down the equation. So equation of my Bezier curve, that is P of u is equal to summation of I equal to 0 to n Pi. Pi is the representation of points, and Biu. Okay. So not Bi of u, Bi of u is my parameter, so I'll use n. Okay. So let's use n. So I'm using u for parameter. So I use n. Okay, and this is a function of u itself, and of course u always vary from 0 to 1. Okay, so what is Bin? It is a Bernstein polynomial. Okay, so basically it is one form of interpolation technique. Okay, so this is what is the polynomial. So Bin, Bernstein polynomial, is equal to, okay, how it is given? C of n comma I into u raised to power I into u minus 1 raised to power n minus I. Okay, u raised to power n minus, again repeat, C of n comma I, u raised to power I, okay, and u minus 1 raised to power n minus I. Okay, so you just write down this. I may need to scroll up. Okay. Okay, fine. So I just write C of n comma I is equal to n factorial upon I factorial into n minus I factorial. Okay, again I repeat, n factorial divided by I factorial divided by n minus I factorial. So this is what is my C of n of I. Okay, now what is the meaning of n? N is the order of polynomial. Okay, and n plus 1 is the number of data points. And I always starts from 0 to n. So these are the few points which you have to keep in mind. Okay, so with the help of this we can find the equation of Bezier curve. Okay, so I just recall the memory. This was the equation. Of course, this is the curve equation. We will be having a surface equation. The surface part is remaining. So we have a Bezier surface and B-spline surface later on, and we will also go through what is the all the surfaces. So it was related to surfaces. Just I recalled it way back, maybe somewhere 9 years back. So I built one project on surface modeling. So we created a full surface modeler. Okay, so some couple of students was working with me. Okay, so you might remember Poonam Patil, whose photo is in our college, and Pranav, who is my best student. So I have given them this problem to generate this. So one of the fantastic project what we have created using the surface modeling technique. Okay, so basically they used to work very hard for 2 months, and after 2 months they realized what is the meaning of this equation. So this is how the story began, and then finally now that story is in front of you. So because of those students, so you will be getting a bread and butter. Okay. So I just thank both of those students who have worked dedicatedly, and because of them, I am in a position to now take this Bezier curve. Of course, B-spline curve also I have done as a part of project, but it started from here, and it's a difficult challenge. But now it has made because of that it made the easy. Okay, so now let's consider 4 data points. Okay, so therefore 3 is the order of polynomial. Okay, so the meaning is that we want to generate a cubic Bezier curve. Okay, that is what is its meaning. So let's write down what is B of U of I. Okay, so I'll use BIN. Okay, because here comma is there, and it is a function of U. Okay, now I'll start for n equal to 3 and I equal to 0. Okay, one more important factor, if 0 by 0, this we are going to encounter, then it has to be treated as 1. Okay, for Bronsted polynomial. So if we are getting 0 by 0 anywhere, that has to be considered as a 1. So this is the important parameter. But anyway, we are going to convert into matrix form. So this term will be automatically multiplied somewhere else, and then this division will be eliminated. Okay, so this is not we are going to face a problem, but if you face a problem, 0 by 0 in Bronsted polynomial is considered to be 1. Okay, so n factorial. So it is 3 factorial divided by 0 factorial. Okay, 3 minus 0 is into 3 factorial. Okay, this is how I got my coefficient Cn. Okay, and what is Bi of n? So B equals C of I into u minus 1 raised to power n minus I. So I get u of I, that is u raised to power 0, and I will get u minus 1 raised to power 3. This is what I am going to get it for I equal to 0. Okay. So that comes around to be u minus 1 cube. You can multiply this and write it down here. Okay. Then I'll be having bin of u for I equal to 1. That is equal to 3 factorial upon 1 factorial upon 2 factorial, because n minus I. Okay. And then I'll be having u raised to power 1 u minus 1 square. Okay. So that will give me 3 into u minus 1 square. So you can expand this and write it down here. Now for I equal to 2, b of I comma n of u is equal to 3 factorial upon 2 factorial into 1 factorial. So this becomes u square. U minus 1 is equal to 3u square. Okay. U minus 1. So you can expand this and write it down here. Then I have I equal to 3 b of I comma n of u 3 factorial upon 3 factorial into 0 factorial u cube u minus 1 raised to power 0. So I get u cube maybe. Okay. So you can just expand this and write it down here. What I have written, u minus 1. Sorry, just a change here. It's not a u minus 1. U is always smaller than 1. So it is never u minus 1. It is always 1 minus u. Okay. So you just make a change. It is 1 minus u because u will never be a greater than 1. So it's my mistake. Okay, so it is always 1 minus u, 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 1 minus u. Okay, so u is never going to become greater than 1. So therefore it has to be 1 minus u. So total length, 1 is the length minus u, location. So you can try to find out the coefficient. So this is minus u cube, 3u square minus 3u plus 1. This will be 3u square then this into this minus 6 u square and u 3 1. So plus 3u. Okay. So this will be minus 3u cube. Okay, and then this into this plus 3u square. Okay, and this will remain as it is. So just let me know whether this is correct or not. Okay, so just let me know. For I equal to 1. I equal to 0. uh, okay, so this is 3 u cube. Okay, minus 3 u cube plus 3 u square. Now is it correct? Anywhere else mistake is there? Okay, so that was the only change. We have made the changes. Okay, so now I will write the my Bezier curve. Okay, so P of u is equal to P0. So remember it, that is summation of this equation. Okay, this equation. So P0 into Bryanston polynomial. So Bryanston polynomial for each I we have calculated. Okay, now it's just to put the values of point. Summation of I is equal to 0. So I just started with P0, and I will get minus u cube plus 3u square minus 3u square minus 3u plus 1. Okay, plus P1 3u cube. Okay, minus 6u square plus 3u. Okay, plus P of 2, that is minus 3u square plus 3u, only u, not square. Okay, and finally it is last point, and it will be u cube. Okay, so this is how I am going to get. So I convert this into matrix form, P of u. Okay, so what I am going to get is u cube. Okay, then u square, u1. So I have to write the coefficient. So here minus 1, 3, minus 3, 1. Then 3 minus 6, 3, 0. And then minus 3, I'll get 3, then 0 and 0. And finally I'll have 1 and rest all 0 into my point matrix, that is P0, P1, P2 and P3. Great. Okay, so just you write down this. This is my Bezier equation. Okay, so it's a similar sort of B-spline. So instead of P2, P0 dash and P1 dash, I am getting a point, another point, additional point, that is point 2 and point 3. So that's the only change, and the middle matrix is M. Okay, what do you call this matrix M? Just let me know. What is M? चला कोणीतरी टाइप करा. Yes. Great, Sheena. So it's a blending matrix. Okay, it is called as blending matrix. Okay, so blending matrix means, now in case of FEM we call this as a shape function matrix. So it's the same terminology. Okay, so whether it is FEM or maybe CAD, so what we call is different. Okay, here we say u equal to 0 to 1, there we say xi equal to -1 to 1. Here we say blending matrix, there we say shape function matrix or shape function or maybe the weight functions. Okay, so they lines are pretty similar, both the subjects. Okay, because finally what we are interested, finally is value of y in form of function, maybe one dimension, maybe two dimension or three dimension. So if we solve any differential equation dy by dx equal to f of xy, so finally what we get is y equal to f of x. Okay, so that represent relationship. It could be single value input, it could be multiple value input. So it's a curve. So curve means FEA, curve means CAD. So both actually means the same. Okay, so if you are able to do it, no issue. So in FEM what we do, we say this is the behavior of a system. We say, oh, this is not our behavior. In FEM we say maybe it is varying linearly and we are going by linear value. If there is a complex behavior of input versus output, okay, we will assume quadratic behavior because our element is quadratic. So we might have land up in this situation. So this is my FEM behavior, finite element method, and this is my actual curve. Okay, so depending upon your assumption, which order of polynomial you assume, you get the solution accuracy. There is no need to do a complex math and do it. Okay, so same thing is happening with the CAD also, same thing is happening with the FEA also. So you assume the relationship and try to find out the coefficients. So that's one of the important aspects. Okay, so let's start. P0, 10, 15, 10, P1, 15, 25, 25, P2, 18, 28, 35, and P3, 25, 21, 40. Okay, so I have the equation of cubic Bezier curve. Fine. So you are already lined up. Okay, I feel that. So what I want is the u 0, 0.25, 0.5, 0.75, 1, x, y, and z. So this is what I want. Okay, so this is what is the equation. You put down the u value, you put down all x of x values, you will get x values. Then you put down all, instead of p0, p1, p2, you put down y values, you will get all y. You put down z values, you will get z. Okay, so already you have the program, you have the solution. So as soon as you get the x values, post the x values. Okay, start doing it. I hope you have understood this. Just let me know. Or is there any difficulty? P2 coefficient is wrong. Okay, I just saw. Let's see. Yes, P2 coefficient is wrong. So it is three u cube, and then it will be 3u square. Okay, but I have written the matrix correct. Fine, no issue. Okay, so just let me know whether you understood this or not. Please, come on, anyone to. Okay, so now you can go ahead and calculate these values. So this will be, of course, 10, 15, 10, and last will be 25, 21, and 40. Okay, so solve it and let me know. Anyone you get a first value this, anybody can post this. Okay. So I got some answer from Abhishek, suppose 13.4. So you can write higher decimal places, 16.7, 20.4. Okay. So this is for the X. You could verify this is correct answer or not. No, Arohi did answer, not Abhishek. Okay. Yes, great, Asava. I do have the answer also. So where it is? Okay. Okay, so you could note down this. These are the most probable answers. Okay. So just let me know whether my screen is visible or not. Of course, what I am talking about the solution. Okay. So you can note down this. I'll just give you 2 minutes to note down, because today I need to complete Bezier curve. So 5 more minutes we will take to complete the Bezier curve, and from next time we will start with the surface. Okay, fine. So this is what is the equation. So what we want to study is the recursive nature of Bezier curve. Okay. So one of the recursive nature which I am going to tell you, there are multiple recursive nature. You can have it. Okay. So now what I am doing, I am going for u equal to 1 by 2 or u equal to half. So for this formulation I am writing for the u equal to half. You can write for u equal to 0.1, you can write for 0.2, 0.3, any value of u for you can write out the recursive nature of the Bezier curve. It's not that it is valid only for u equal to 0.5. Okay, according to your derivation for particular thing, you can write the recursive nature. So this is derived from the basically need of reducing a computation on graphics card. Okay, so let us say if you want to write the program now, so this remains the same. Okay, P0, P1, P2, P3. So in DP1, D0, that will be converted into P2 and P3. Okay, nothing else. And what will change is only this H matrix. Okay, so if you change this H matrix, all the logic is same, and it becomes a program for the your say Bezier curve. So this H you have to change, and this nomenclature has to be changed as P2, P3. That's it. So if you change these two lines, two things, it automatically will create your Bezier curve. Okay. So now you have to, while running this program, you have to ensure that your point is sufficiently spaced. Okay. So the point which we have taken currently is this point. So maybe you multiply, you cannot take Z right now. You can take Z provided that you are working in isometric mode. Here you need to multiply each point by 10. So 100, 134, 160, 120. So it will be a larger value, and you can get the feel of the curve on the your canvas. Basically, that is what is the meaning. Okay. So you can try and just post me today your solutions, those who will able to do it. So I'm trying to have a recursive nature. This is what is my equation of Bezier curve for 0.5. Okay, if I put u equal to 0.5, so in this equation I will put u equal to 0.5. So for the first, if I put u equal to 0.5, so what I am going to get is 1 by 8. So if you can say 1 minus 1 by 2 over 1 minus 1 by 2 cube. So automatically at the you will be having a some factor which is a 2 cube, that is 1 by 8. Okay, so that factor will come into the picture. Okay, and that represents 1 by 8 P0. Similarly, this factor will be 3 by 8. Okay, so it is 0.5 cube. So you can do the calculation for u later on. So 1 minus 0.5 raised to power 3. Okay, 0.875. So 1 divided by 8. This is 3 by 8 P1. Okay, so 1 by 2. So this is 1 by 8 P0 plus 3 by 8 P1, and this is 3 by 8 P2 and 1 by 8 P3. Okay, so this combination you can do it. Now how 1 by 8 I am going to split is like this. So 1 by 2, okay, 1 by 2, and this is again 2. So 2 to the 4, 4 to the 8. So that is what is my P1, and again plus P1 is there. So in this way you can split out P0. So P0 is 1 by 8. So here 2 it is there at this location. Okay. So these two constitute 1 by 8. Okay. So that P0 is there. Then 3 by 8 P1. So 1 P1, 2 P1. Okay. And you can say 3 by 8. So P1 plus P1, 2 P1, 2 get cancelled, and at 2 to the 4 and 4 to the 8. So in this way, this is also 3 by 8 P1, and another P1 is I have put here. Okay. So another P1 I have put here. So this 3 by 8 P1 is distributed as this, this, and this. So you can add this, you will get a 3 by 8 P1. Similarly, 3 by 8 P2 is this P2, okay, this P2 and this P2. And again 1 by 8 P3 is this one only. Okay, 2, 2, 2. So what is the meaning of this? Basically, it is P0 P plus P1 by 2. Okay, P0 plus P1 by 2. So this is the midpoint of these 2 points, and this is the midpoint of these 2 points. Okay. Similarly, this is the midpoint of these 2 points, and this is the midpoint of these 2 points. Now I have a 4 midpoints. Now what is the meaning of this? It is a mid of mid. So again you can say it is 1 by 2 outside. Okay. So m plus m. So mid of mid by 2. So 1 by 2 of mid plus m is. So I am going to get midpoint of these 2. Similarly, I am going to get midpoint of these 2. Okay. So let us say midpoint of this is I label as maybe a m1, and midpoint of this 2 I label as m2. Okay. Now there is a half again here and half again here. Okay. So these 2 halves stands for m1 plus m2 divided by 2. So again mid of this 2. So actually what I am going to get is mid plus all the midpoints. So if I try to club all the midpoints, I am going to get a Bezier curve. So that will reduce my computation time, definitely. Okay. So okay. So you could see P0 P1 mid is OP1. Okay. And P1 P2 mid is P12. Okay. Then P1 plus P2 mid is OP12. P2 plus P3, that is mid of P23. So this is P1 P2 P3 points. Connect this polygon. Okay, I have connected this polygon. Now let's have their respective midpoints. Okay, so yellow dots. So here I am specifying the color yellow. Okay, so all these yellows are the those midpoints of the Bezier curve. Fine. Then the midpoint of all yellow is red. Okay. So I connected P0 P12. So P0 P12 I connected. Then I got the red dot. So this is what is my red dot, which is again a midpoint of these 2. Now these 2 red dots and their mid is violet dot. Okay, so I need to connect 2 red dots and then their midpoint is violet. So that means what? Now I got one more polygon. I got one more polygon. Previously one polygon was there. Now I got one more. What is that polygon? This. Okay. So previously only 3 sides were there. Now again I got 3 sides. And these are another side. So I just have a longer value for this. Another 3 sides. So I am trying to get a Bezier curve. So this point, violet point, whatever the violet point is there, it lies on the Bezier curve. Okay. So again I got the yellow dots in the same fashion. Then I will again draw the line between yellow dots. Then again I will get the red dots. Again I will draw the line between red dots. Again I will get the violet dots. So now I got 3 violet dots. So if I draw the curve through these 3 violet dots, that represents my Bezier curve. So in this way also you can quickly draw the Bezier curve with very less computation time. Okay. So just let me know whether you got the thing or not quickly. Okay, so basically it's a very small computation time. So you have the point just divided by 2, divided by 2, divided by 2, very less computation. You get instantly a Bezier curve. So that's one of the advantage. But the only drawback is it is having the global control. So if you change any point, the shape of the whole curve will change. Now try out the program. Okay, don't fear the program. You can do the programming. Absolutely, there is nothing in it. So I just need to have a few syntaxes: printf, scanf. Okay, then what I want to have, I want to know how to make the decision. If I need to know only for, I need to know only functions. If you are aware of that, that's it. You can do wonders. Okay. So of course, object oriented is a requirement that do the many things. But of course, even though you know the functions oriented, for this, you can use your own logic to complete the stuff. Okay, so now I just check out if anything is remaining. Okay, so there is a concept of tangent vector and blending vector. So we are not going to solve this problem. I'm going to explain you tomorrow this blending function. So tomorrow means whenever the next time lecture is there. Okay, so